Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're tackling a really interesting problem called paths in matrix, whose sum is divisible by k. It's a hard-level problem that combines grid traversal with some clever number theory. If you've ever struggled with dynamic programming on grids, this is a perfect example to learn from because it forces us to expand our state definition. Let's break it down together. First, let's understand what we're being asked to do. We are given a grid of numbers, let's call it grid, and an integer k. We start at the top left corner and want to reach the bottom right corner. The catch is our movement is restricted. We can only move down or right. Our mission is to count how many distinct paths exist, such that if you add up all the numbers along that path, the total sum is perfectly divisible by k. Because the number of paths can be huge, we need to return the answer modulo 10 to the power of 9 plus 7. Let's walk through an example to make this concrete. We have a 3x3 grid, and our divisor k is 3. We need paths where the sum is a multiple of 3. Look at the red path in the problem description. 5, 2, 4, 5, 2. If we sum these up, 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 5 is 16, plus 2 is 18. 18 divided by 3 leaves a remainder of 0. So this path counts. The blue path sums to 15, which is also divisible by 3. That's 2 valid paths so far. Now, here's the key insight. Do we really need to keep track of the entire sum as we travel? If the grid is large, that sum could get massive. But notice the problem only asks about divisibility by k. This means we don't care if the sum is 18 or 108. We only care that the remainder when divided by k is 0. This suggests we should track remainders, not totals. Just a quick heads up before we dive into the solution. I'll be using Python to explain the logic and the code structure, but if you're a Java, C++, or JavaScript developer, stick around. I've included full ready-to-run solutions for those languages at the very end of the video. Since we're counting paths on a grid, dynamic programming is a natural choice. Usually for a simple path counting problem, we'd say dp at row I, column j stores the number of ways to reach that cell, but that's not enough here. Two paths reaching the same cell might have different sums, and that affects which future paths will be valid. So we need to expand our state. We'll add a third dimension, the remainder. So our state will be row, column, and current remainder. To figure out the value for a specific cell and remainder r, we look backwards. We could have come from the cell above or the cell to the left. But what remainder did we need before stepping onto the current cell? Well, if we want our new total to have remainder r, the previous remainder plus the current cell's value must equal r modulo k. Rearranging this, the previous remainder is r minus the current value. We add k before taking the modulo just to handle any negative results cleanly. Okay, we've got the concept, a 3DDP table where we track row, column, and remainder. Let's see how this translates into actual Python code. I'll show the full solution first, and then we'll break it down piece by piece. Here is the complete Python solution. We initialize our 3D table, handle the starting point, and then loop through every cell and every possible remainder. It looks a bit dense, so let's zoom in on the critical parts. First, the setup. We create a 3D array called dp. The dimensions are m plus 1, n plus 1, and k. We use plus 1 to make boundary checks easier, basically padding the grid with a row of zeros at the top and left. Then we start our loops. The very first cell at 1, 1 corresponds to the top left of our grid. There's only one way to be there, and the remainder is just the value of that cell modulo k, so we set that state to 1 and continue. Now for the magic. For every other cell we look at its value. Then, we iterate through every possible target remainder r from 0 to k minus 1. For each target r, we calculate previous mod. This is the remainder we must have had before entering this cell to end up with r. We then sum up the ways from the cell directly above, which is row I minus 1, and the cell to the left, which is column j minus 1, both using that specific previous remainder. Finally, we take the modulo to keep numbers manageable. Before we move on, let's think about edge cases. What if k is 1? Well, everything is divisible by 1, so our inner loop runs once for remainder 0, and this just becomes a standard path counting problem. Our code handles this naturally. What about a 1x1 grid? The loop runs once, hits the base case if I equals 1 and j equals 1, sets the value, and returns. And finally, if the numbers in the grid are huge, we don't worry because we only ever work with their values modulo k. So what's the cost of this solution? We iterate through every cell in the grid, which gives us m times n. Inside that loop, we iterate through k possible remainders. This gives us a total time complexity of big O of m times n times k. For space, we create a table of the exact same dimensions, so our space complexity is also big O of m times n times k. Given the constraints, this is efficient enough to pass. Alright, that covers the main solution in Python. As promised, for those of you who code in other languages, I'm about to show the full solutions for Java, C++, and JavaScript. I won't be breaking these down, so just pause the video on your language of choice to check it out. Alright, as promised, here is the full solution in Java. You can pause the video here to take a closer look at the implementation. Next up, here is the C++ version of the solution. Again, feel free to pause and review the code. And finally, here is the solution in JavaScript. Hopefully seeing it in a few different languages helps solidify the concepts. So let's wrap it up. The biggest lesson here is about state definition. When a standard DP approach fails because you're missing information, like the current sum, don't be afraid to add another dimension to your table. We also saw how powerful modular arithmetic is. It let us boil down an infinite number of possible sums into just k possible states. Alright, before we go, I want to quickly show you a personal project I built to solve a problem that always drove me crazy. It's an app called My Daily To-Do. My biggest frustration with every other to-do app was retyping the same things every single day. Go to the gym, review code, work on the daily Leetcode problem. You know the drill. So I built my app around one simple but powerful idea: separating your routine tasks from your one-off tasks. Routine tasks, marked with the little refresh icon, automatically reset for the next day. One-off tasks, like ship new feature, get the little puff of smoke icon, and they disappear for good once you're done. This small change turns a dumb checklist into a smart scheduler. If that sounds useful, you can try it right now on the web. The link is in the description. And one more thing I want to make super clear. Right now, as a thank you for being an early supporter, the app is 100% free. There are no ads and no subscriptions whatsoever. This means you get access to everything, including really powerful features like presets, which let you save entire task lists and load them with a single tap. Now down the road, creating new presets will likely become part of a premium plan to help support the channel. But, and this is the important part, any presets you create now, while it's all free, are yours to keep and use forever. So it's the perfect time to check it out on the web, play with all the features, and build out your perfect setup at no cost. If you enjoyed this problem and want to keep practicing, the learning doesn't have to stop here. I've organized all my video solutions into handy playlists. Whether you're looking to grind through more Leetcode easy, medium, or hard problems, or you want to master a specific topic like sliding window or dynamic programming, I've got a playlist for you. It's the perfect way to focus your study sessions. Go to the Playlist tab and find a playlist that fits your goals. Also, if you're looking for even more Leetcode problems beyond the daily challenge, I've started a second channel called Leetcode Unlocked. It's where I'll be posting solutions to a ton of other problems, so if you're serious about your interview prep, be sure to check it out. The link is in the description below. Hope this Leetcode solution breakdown made sense. If it helped, give that like button a click, maybe subscribe for more, or drop a comment if you have questions. Make sure to turn on the notification bell so you know straight away when I upload a video, because I upload videos daily. If you want to support the channel, a few people have asked how I plan my solutions. I'm a big fan of sketching out the logic and data structures on a tablet before I code. It really helps. I've put affiliate links in the description to the tablet I use and a few other good options. Using those links doesn't cost you anything extra, but really helps me out. Or, if you're feeling generous, there's always the Boba Fund. Keep coding, and I'll catch you in the next one.